Hi everyone, Ben Pitts here, CEO of My Financial Answers. I say way too often it's easier to show people what we do than tell them, and so I thought I would record a demo of our software so you could see exactly what we do for people. So before I get started showing you what we do, I want to talk a little bit about the problems that people like you are facing. And frankly, I'm one of those people. I'm 36 years old. I've got 3 children. I'm married. I own a home. I own a business and have lots of concerns going on in my head all the time, things that I'm thinking about keeping me up at night. So no matter who you are, you're at some point on this spectrum, from a single adult to couples that are married without children, to young families where I am. You're trying to raise young kids, to established families. Maybe your children are going off to college soon, and even empty nesters. As you move along this axis here, you've got lots and lots of financial issues that you're thinking about, from just your housing situation, renting and buying homes, just everyday living expenses and budgeting, career decisions and retirement, medical costs. And the problems just go on, and all of us have these issues. And you layer on top of that, on the right-hand side here, all of the issues that are all of the terminology that we have to figure out, most of which, or a lot of which, comes from the tax code. It's just really, really confusing for people. And again, I'm Ben Pitts. I'm a financial planner, build a successful financial planning practice, and we decided that too many people suffer from these issues and don't have options to get really high quality guidance. And so we thought we would build technology and pair that with really smart financial planners and make it available for more people. So I'll show you our team really quickly. So this is me, Ben Pitts. I am the CEO and co-founder of My Financial Answers. Up in the top left is my business partner, Jeff Jones. He's a certified financial planner. He built all of the underlying logic in our technology. He's a super smart guy and is passionate about helping normal people build financial plans and make smart decisions as well. On the right-hand side, you've got Evan Powers. He's one of our senior financial planners. He writes a lot of our content. If you've been to our website, that you'll read. Again, super smart guy. And then the bottom left, Phil White, helping us lead some employer programming, but is also a certified financial planner and takes calls with individual clients to help them think through their personal finances as well. So you can see we've got a pretty sharp team. We think that it's really important that we've got financial planners that are super experienced, that really care, they're compassionate, and want to help folks, and have the depth of experience to really be able to bring that experience to bear in helping people work through our software and make good decisions. So with that, I'll actually just show you how we help people solve problems. So this is our landing page. You can go to our website and sign up, and all you need to do is put in a first name, last name, email address, and a password. Agree to some of our terms of service here. At the end of the day, you've got dreams. We'll help you keep track and guide you along that journey, and really help you make all decisions across your entire financial life. This will be an investment of time. You don't have a full financial plan and really get good guidance without us knowing exactly who you are and knowing about your life, and we can't give you good recommendations if we don't know more. So this is just the sign-up page. I'm actually going to jump into a demo account, so it's a little bit faster to show you what we do. So when you go into the demo account, you will actually just agree to a 45-day free trial, or you can choose to upgrade, but 45-day free trial. I've done that here. And I'm just going to click around and show you a couple of screens, show you what it's all about, show you some of the screens that you'll have to fill out, and then some of the value that you'll get in the end. Should take you, anywhere from 15 minutes on the really low end all the way to 45 minutes or even an hour if you connect a bunch of accounts. But what you'll see here is this is John Doe. He was born on March 25th. Hey, that's my birthday. 1970. He lives in New Jersey. He's a male. Every piece of data we're asking is for a reason. We think that knowing exactly who you are is really important. Again, it's not just a calculator. So John works at ABC Company. He's a manager. He makes $75,000 a year. So he's just inputting this information, things like your 401k plan, what's your matching program, and we give you little tooltips to help you understand what is being asked for here, and also where can I go look for it. So our goal is to help you through this. Certainly if you have questions as you go along, you can shoot us an email. You can give us a call and we'll help you out as well. So we ask for some personal information. When do you want to retire? It defaults to 65 because that's just really a popular retirement age, and we tell you that as well. And this screen here is actually tell us more about yourself. This is really why it's not a calculator. If you are married, we're going to ask about your spouse. Does your spouse work? What is your spouse's income? Do you have kids under 21? If you do, our software actually automatically calculates what your college savings costs will be if in fact you plan to save for your children to go to college, which is a choice you have later on in the software. If you have investments and debt, we're going to ask you to either connect those accounts so that we can have a view of those and it keeps a living, breathing plan, or you can actually add them all manually. So if you don't want to have your bank accounts and your investment accounts or credit cards connected to our system, you do have the ability to do it manually. You just will not have a living, breathing plan every day. If you have insurance, a home, we're going to ask you about these details, and there's quite a bit here. So I'll skip ahead a little bit. You did say you were married, so we do ask about your spouse, and we're going to ask about John's spouse is Jane. She's a New Jersey school teacher. She earns $55,000 a year, and she has a 403B. So we've got some optionality here. Of course, a New Jersey teacher typically has a pension, so she could input that pension information. I won't do for the purpose of this demo. As far as your assets go, we actually go through and we ask you about specific types of assets before this screen, but I will jump ahead. This is where you can use our financial aggregation. I have a USAA account. I can search for it, find the appropriate institution, it's USAA Bank, and I can put in my online ID, password, and PIN. That's exactly what I get asked at USAA. The first time you do it, you'll probably be asked some security questions. Folks, this is bank level security. Our partner is a company called Finicity. They're a very successful company, recently raised about $40 million to continue to fund their very successful company. So we don't actually store your password or PIN. We don't even see it. There's a security protocol that's in place, and Finicity handles all of that through working with your banks. So in this case, I have not connected any accounts. I've just done everything manually, so you just click Add. And I can add any type of account I have. So we encourage you to add as much information about yourself as you can, because that's how we're going to be able to help you the most. And again, if you have questions, let us know. We'll help you figure that out. But in most cases, you can give us 2 or 3 pieces of information and we will calculate the rest. So I'll give you an example. A mortgage, we can say, it's my primary home. Let's say the balance is $200,000. The interest rate I know is 4.25%. And I know that I bought the house 30 years ago, or 5 years ago. It was a 30-year mortgage, so I've probably got about 25 years left. You do that, we're going to calculate a monthly principal and interest payment. That will not include your tax payment, so we'll ask you for that later on. But this is how you add your accounts manually. Pretty easy, and you can do that really quickly. So I won't show you too many other input screens. I will show you the section where we collect your expenses. We are not using that financial account aggregation to estimate your expenses. We think it's a really good process to go through and figure out what you spend monthly, so sort of a budgeting exercise. Some of you may do that already, some of you may not. But ultimately, you've already told us about your debt payments, or at least John and Jane have, so we know what their monthly spending should be on those debts. We then ask them, hey, what are your expenses beyond that? So you can put in one line item, as I have here for John. He's got total expenses of $4,000 a month. Or you can actually click through and do weekly expenses. We put some popular weekly expenses, diapers, school, gas, things that you may think about weekly. Here are some things that you may think about monthly. And then lastly, different expenses you may think about annually. If you've put in that you own a home and have real estate taxes, that will actually show up here automatically, just like the debts. We then ask you about your retirement savings. So it's really important to know that if you don't tell us what you're saving or where you're saving your money, we're actually going to assume you're spending it in our base case. Again, this is an investment of time, but when you finish these inputs, you can see all the different sections here. You will have a full financial plan. So let's jump ahead to that. I actually click Save and Calculate. It typically takes about 25 to 30 seconds. I've not changed anything here, so it's not going to calculate. But we are running real algorithms, measuring real trade-offs of all the different financial decisions that you can make. So the real meat of it is get your recommendations. So we've got everything from emergency savings, and these are prioritized in order of what we think is important based on our experience, based on generally acceptable financial planning principles. Get a full match on your 401k. If you're not doing that, that's going to be one of our top recommendations. And then we've got everything from pay down your debt to purchase life insurance, set up a 529 plan, or assess your investment portfolio. So we are not selling any products. We actually offer this as a subscription service, and I will show you that in a little bit. But this is the recommendation engine. It will be unique for you as an individual. It will be unique for your circumstances. The numbers in the recommendations, I'll give you an example here. Purchase life insurance. John needs $1.5 million, 20-year level term life insurance policy for him. We'll give another recommendation for his spouse. It's a little bit less for Jane, and that's probably due to the fact that John makes more income. But we are actually looking at, and this is just a good example, we're looking at the fact that John and Jane have kids. They want to send those kids to college. They have a certain lifestyle they're currently living. If they wanted to extend that for their spouse, if one of them were to die, this is how much life insurance they would need. And then there's just a lot of other data for you to take a look at. You can see your personal balance sheet. So this is the balance sheet for John and Jane. They've got total assets of $395,000, most of which is between their home and a retirement account or several. I can expand to see those retirement accounts, which I've added manually. And then they've got debts of $168,000, so a net worth of $227,000. If they've connected their accounts, this would stay updated daily. We've got a cash flow statement. So one of the main goals that we have as financial planners is to understand what is your excess cash flow. How much money do you have after you have gotten paid your taxes, and also paid all of your expenses. In this case, John and Jane have a healthy $31,000 left that they can do something with. Put it in a Roth IRA, put it in a 401k, contribute to HSAs. Our recommendations will look at all those different contributions and give them a recommendation on that. And then we've got some projections. You can see this is the path that John and Jane are currently on. We do all of this in current day dollars. So don't get overwhelmed when you see certain numbers. They are, pretty young. This is a couple that's 45 years old right now. And if they follow our recommendations, this is the path they could be on. So again, remember I said we assume they spend all the money they don't tell us they're saving. And this is if they actually take some of that money and use it the way we recommend. So one example is college savings plan. We've recommended that John and Jane contribute to a 529 plan. So you can see this orange, dark orange balance is that college savings plan. So you've got some benefits from tax efficiencies, just the mere fact that you're saving and investing rather than spending that money, which makes their lives better off. So you can see I can isolate retirement accounts, and that's one of the big things we help people think about. At the end of the day, John and Jane previously, if they were to retire at 65 when they wanted to, they literally run out of money right away, which is not untypical for a 45-year-old couple today to for us to look at a financial plan and see that. And it just shows that you just need to be focused on making certain decisions. You can see that John and Jane comfortably get out to 80 years old. I do know from looking at the recommendations that they don't get out to 100, which is what we like to see, but certainly they're on the right path if they start following our recommendations. So we don't think technology alone can solve your problems. We think it's really important that you're able to speak with a financial planner who is compassionate, who's an expert. So you can see here, if you've signed up for the free trial, we cannot provide that. That takes some time and energy from our team. But you've got 3 options to upgrade your service. Bronze is simply to extend your free trial. You just get the technology for a year. It's $99. If you pay monthly, it's $10. Silver and gold are where you get in silver 1 hour with a financial planner. So one of those people I just showed you on that on the slide earlier. 1 hour for $249 for the year. So you get 1 hour during the course of a year, which is really if you're pretty savvy, do-it-yourselfer, but just want a little time to ask somebody some questions, that would be the plan for you. And gold is really what most people will need. You fill out this financial plan, we're going to have all the data we need to understand your situation. We'll then ask you some clarifying questions about your goals and passions and uncertainties. And typically if we meet with you twice a year for an hour to an hour and a half, we will be able to deliver a very, very good financial planning service for you. And at $499 for the year, I can tell you that's a great price relative to what an hourly financial planner would charge you. And frankly, most people, if you don't have multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, you typically can't work with a financial advisor that will give you any semblance of financial planning. So just wanted to end with that and encourage you all to take a look. Certainly reach out to us and send an email if you have any questions, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.